Hey traders, checking in on the stock market today. We had the S&P 500 futures bounce off a key support, reject from a key resistance, and we remain range bound trying to set daily higher lows. There's a lot of individual names I want to look at, some of them that we covered from yesterday to follow up on. Let's get to the charts and stop wasting time. So looking at the S&P 500 futures chart, we have the scenario where even though we closed weak yesterday, it was possible for a 4-hour higher low to form, which it did overnight. Then we saw weakness this morning. We broke that overnight low, but we did not break the low of consolidation to this point, and we had a significant bounce off of that level. So I delete the shorter term support, which broke, but our double bottom remains. From there, we had a significant bounce, and we ran up until the FOMC minutes reaction at 2 p.m. At that point in time, it was essentially a cup and handle pattern where we had the high of the day resistance. We pulled back, we failed the high of the day, we formed a 5-minute bull flag, and then there was our reaction. And we rejected right off of resistance. And if you look at SPY, the high of yesterday, 436.07, 436.10, 436.09, and now 436.05 with just a straight shot right to resistance. Top fish and bears nailed it, and we dropped down $2 very quickly. I don't know how you look at this price action and say technical analysis doesn't work. We just bounced right off support and rejected right from resistance. So what we're looking at now overnight is, can the bulls break this resistance level? We have a bull cross of the hourly 12 and 26 EMAs. That doesn't mean a whole bunch to me because we saw it cross bull and then bear right again. But it's an attempt at a shift in momentum. SPY. Daily higher low, trying to shape up. It's a bullish candle. We need follow through tomorrow. Have to break all these tops at 436.10. If we do, the higher low is set and we're looking back to the recent high of 441.68, keeping in mind that we may remain within a tightening range for a good bit of next week. But we still have to see these bulls prove it, which they have not done just yet. The Nasdaq futures chart broke 4-hour resistance. So a little base of support overnight, and the low of today held that. And then, let's do a better line. And then our rejection. No, not a rejection. We broke bull, but not by much, and then pulled back. And we won't have confidence in bull follow through here unless the S&P 500 breaks its key resistance. Daily higher low is trying to shape up on QQQ. It looks like this. Anything under 4, make that 365.69 is just a daily lower high. Have to break that level to confirm a daily trend change. I have so many individual names I want to talk about. Right now, just going through this, there's more flashing through my mind that I don't have up yet. The financial sector. So XLF had the first reaction to JPM earnings, and we had the reaction to the CPI numbers pre-market, and we dumped first thing this morning. So just looking at it bigger picture, daily, anything above 37.49 is a higher low. So bulls bought some of the dip here. We will need an hourly trend change confirmed to believe that a daily higher low is being set and we are maintaining the uptrend. And then we have to be cautious of a head and shoulders. Again, this is our lead bull sector. And unless the tech sector bulls show up in a big way and say, we got it from here, it's our turn now, we have to be real cautious if we lose the daily uptrend in XLF. I attempted an oversold bounce trade on XLF today, and I stopped out right near the low. And it's one of those examples where I knowingly stopped out right near the low, and I'll tell you why. I love losing money. No, just kidding. So we dumped. 5-minute RSI got absolutely crushed down into the teens. So I see the 5-minute RSI in the teens. I know a couple of things. This is a fundamental reaction. It's a reaction to earnings, and it's a reaction to the CPI numbers. So that tells me RSI levels can get a little bit overextended. Okay, I've got that in the back of my mind. I'm trading this through FAS, which is the 3 times leveraged bull for the XLF sector. But I'm doing everything based on the XLF chart. So I made an initial scale in the 38, I forget exactly where, but perhaps around 38.10 or so. And that's where I went wrong. That was just a little bit too early for my initial scaling. I then said, all right, I'm going to make a second entry on a break of 38. And 38 broke, and I gave it a little bit of time. I entered my second entry when XLF was about 37.96 perhaps. Down here. So, okay, I've got my 2 positions, and now I put my stop loss in to limit my risk. And I stopped out. My stop was based on the FAS level at that point and the dollar risk I was willing to take. So this was a day loser, the maximum amount I'm willing to lose on this trade. And as soon as I stopped out, I said, well, the 5-minute RSI is almost single digits, and I know we are likely to bounce in the short term. And I would say 4 out of 5 or 9 out of 10 times, I know that we're going to bounce there. So why didn't I pull my stop? Or why didn't I add another position and go a bit bigger and a bit more aggressive? And the answer is, number 1, it was a fundamental reaction. Number 2, if the 1 out of 10 times or the 4 out of 5 times, I'm just making those numbers up, but if the unlikely scenario takes place and we just dump, what if the S&P 500 rolled over and sees a 2% down day today and we see XLF drop 3.5%? That's when I get in a world of trouble and where I can see a multiple week loser because I did not respect a stop loss. So again, I will take that day loser when it hits that level every time because I'm avoiding that massive loss that leads to a big leap back in my slow and steady climb of account value. So what a member did, which was very smart, was they started scaling in once I stopped out. And I've got to give them props to that because as far as probabilities are concerned, that is solid probability in your favor. In hindsight, what could I have done? Stair-step drop. As soon as the pattern of a lower high every 5-minute candle broke, we were a good bit off the low at that point, but there was plenty of follow through to make the trade worthwhile. So in hindsight, being more patient and waiting for that to take place would have been more ideal. If I waited for a break of 38 psychological and then started scaling in, I would have nailed it for a solid win, potentially a multiple day maker win, because my first entry would have been 37.96 and my second entry would have been, on a break at 37.80 almost, or potentially I should say. So, loss, but that's the way she goes. IWM, still nice and tight, potential higher low being set, key resistance 225 in the short term to see if this tightening equilibrium of 2 months can break bull. XLV, trying to hold a daily high or low. It is one of our weakest sectors. We're watching very closely to see if it drops to lower lows for potential clues on our other sectors. But for now, it's holding. We must break the high of today, tomorrow for any follow through on this support hold. Key resistance on the daily remains 128.40. Semiconductors also weaker, but a daily inside bar today. If the inside bar breaks bull, a daily higher low is set, and we're looking back to our daily resistance. Tomorrow's a big day. It's been a big day every day for me the past couple of days because the question is, can we form a daily higher low? And we're just trying and we're battling, and that's why the S&P 500 futures chart is ping-ponging around sideways because there's a battle raging, and it doesn't seem like it because we're not having these big days in one direction or the other, but there's a pretty critical short-term battle going on right now, and tomorrow will probably determine the winner. Solar sector is on absolute fire the last 3 days. Monster move. Look at this grind down for weeks and just getting it all back very quickly. This is a monthly higher low attempt. So we have our low of the drop, the high of the initial monthly bounce, which we were interested in our growth names, and now we have a monthly higher low shaping up. And if these bulls can break 93.49, in my opinion, that would be in conjunction with IWM breaking bullish from this big picture equilibrium. And that's worth watching for on growth names. So growth names have been out of favor for a while now, but TAN is getting my interest. Let's now look at all these other growth names. ARC, trying for a monthly higher low. We've got our high, low, lower high, trying for that higher low. Daily time frame has work to do. You could call this a daily trend change. Zooming out, anything under 126.32 is just a weekly lower high. But again, I'm watching for monthly higher lows, especially if the S&P 500 can give us a daily higher low. And if we can confirm a daily trend change, I believe a ton of growth names will be giving us monthly higher lows. The other ones I'm watching, NIO. So NIO on the monthly equilibrium, scouting a higher low. Bullish reversal candle on the monthly. We got a long way to go, but daily trend change attempt today. Look at this resistance zone. We rejected from it again today, but we've got tops at recently 36, 67, 64, 55, 52, 68 today. Got to get over 37.03. This is a resistant zone. If we get over these levels, it's a confirmed daily trend change, and that will be step number 1 for setting a monthly high or low for me. Who else? Roku. Look at that. Same chart. Same chart. Same chart. What else is the same about it? A monthly equilibrium. Looking for a high or low. High, low, double top, high or low trying to form here. Daily trend change confirming on a break of 328.75, which we did today. Bulls want to break 339.60 for follow through. Keep an eye on growth, because if the bulls give the all clear in the market, and if SPY were to be a monthly bull flag, growth names setting monthly higher lows. They are on watch. Who else growth? MJ sector, the weakest of the growth. One thing I want to show you, yes, it is still a potential falling wedge. Yes, the bulls have not proven anything to us in the short term. Just drawing this falling wedge real quick, and then we'll look at some clues that the bears are still fighting to keep their control, and they're winning. How do we know they're winning? Because the bulls aren't doing anything on the daily chart. Falling wedge watch. And CGC, it's pure base of support, trying to set up a daily trend change, have to get over 12, make that 1388 to do so. But TLRY, short-term clues. I've been watching it very closely the past couple of days because in my opinion, the cannabis sector can turn on a dime and go 10% really quickly if some pressure can be put on shorts. But we need broader market confidence for that to happen. But again, I'm watching all these growth names because we're watching for these monthly longer term setups as they start to slowly develop on shorter term timeframes. So for TLRY, we've got a daily inside bar today, but look at the bears consistently reject from resistance. I'm on the 1 minute time frame and we're looking at the last 3 days. So Monday, 1061 is resistance. That's our high of the day. Okay. Bear day, they keep control. 1061 is resistance. Yesterday, bull move, big volume first thing. We run right up to that resistance. We top out 7 cents below it. We top out 5 cents below it. Double top at the high of the day. Roll over, triple top at the high of the day. And then bears play defense. We've got a clear triple top. So top fishing is working. If you enter bearish at daily resistance, you put your stop a few pennies over the high. You enter a few pennies below the high. It keeps working. And then we had this, and this is what I want to point out. 1051, 1051, 1051. At this point in time right here, I was watching it happen live, all of our major sectors had a short-term bull break. SPY, QQQ, XLF, bull break. There were bears sitting and waiting to ensure market selling. This is high volume and an all-out dump. You only do that with market selling massive volume. So there was market selling a big volume right at that resistance, essentially ensuring, no, you're not going to see any bullish correlation with the broader market on this short-term move. We're going to keep the price contained. And they did. And the price remained contained for the rest of the day. What did we get this morning? Bull move first thing. Open, we reject from the high of yesterday by 4 pennies, by 2 pennies, by 4 pennies. A nice little 1 minute head and shoulders. Top fishing bears get rewarded again. And they will keep doing it as long as it keeps working. And then we did it again, 1032 resistance. Look at the volume here. Bull break attempt, we get to 1032. Market selling, high volume to drop the price back down notably. So we have an hourly equilibrium the last 2 days in a tightening daily range, and we have to see broader market strength with the daily high or low, an attempted trend change, and we have to see breaks of resistance levels. If TLRY is going to put any pressure on bears, we need massive volume, and we need to take out the high of the previous few days all on one day. And where have we seen that in the past? This example here was on earnings, I believe. Yep, so not going to really count that. But it hasn't happened in a while as far as just a move that traps some bears. Watching for the falling wedge, but bulls not proving anything. AFRM, we looked at it yesterday for the daily bull flag and the double top at all-time highs, and we got a new all-time high today. Really nice follow through. So strong bull, must hold daily support, 132 to keep control. And we got over 146 and saw a few percent of follow through. 150 psychological was the next level we were keeping an eye on. And hourly consolidation into the end of the day. Not a ton of bull follow through, so you can draw an uptrend resistance line here. We didn't exactly hit it just now, but pretty close. So just want to be a little bit cautious because the weekly chart has run significantly, but we are still in control of the bulls here. And we'll see if we can get new all-time highs over 150 tomorrow. CCJ, uranium name. Big volume breakout yesterday. Look at that follow through. What was the entry that we talked about yesterday? I hope I talked about it yesterday. I assume I did. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I'm sure I was talking about a 5-minute oversold back burner, knowing that we needed hourly consolidation. We opened the day saying, we know we need hourly consolidation. We're very overextended. 5-minute oversold conditions is a back burner. We hit it in the first 10 minutes. That marks the low of the day. And you could say, well, the RSI didn't hit oversold, but when we were at the low of that candle, it was under 30. And we then bounced 7% from the low of the day because the low of the day in 5-minute oversold conditions ends up being our hourly higher low into continuation. And we could look for continuation because of the massive volume. And we're now looking at 2657 for the potential of continued weekly breakout as uranium names stay very strong. URA already broke resistance. Look at the volume of URA. This is an ETF that is just pouring on the momentum. They waited till everybody was asleep. UUU, big move. So uranium's still hot. Short-term oversold conditions for buying dips. Congrats to the bulls on the follow-through. AMC, nice and tight. AMC is going to give us some great volatility soon. Again, I'm still in a position where I entered in the low 36s. I sold a quarter of my position, I think in the low 38s. I forget exactly where, but it was enough for me to be able to put a stop under 35.64 with a little bit of wiggle room to have tiny risk. And again, I'm looking for a bull break on the daily to be a weekly inside bar bull break to set the weekly higher low. And the bulls need to break 38.78. We had an hourly. No, we didn't set an hourly higher low yet. We came straight off the low of today. We do need an hourly trend change, but it's all about 38.78. And that would be a daily equilibrium breaking bull. We would be getting over daily EMA 12 resistance, and it would be our weekly higher low shaping up. So that is definitely one to watch as well. One more, MARA, talked about it in the crypto video. Daily cup and handle, as Bitcoin continues to show us a lot of strength. And if Bitcoin gets all-time highs, MARA is going to break out in a big way. Hit our resistance, came back, rejected from resistance, daily bull flag, very strong close, and we're knocking on the door of 44.12 and 44.97 resistances as Bitcoin is attempting to get to all-time highs. Still got another 15% or so to go. Lots to be watching out there. You don't want to be too scatterbrained. You want to be focusing on a few names at a time. I've been a little too scatterbrained personally this week. And that's just a little lesson for myself. I hope you're well. Don't forget to do good things. Put out a video yesterday with Trader John. Check that out on our channel. It's been fun. One of my favorite things to do as part of the chart guys is watch traders develop for years. There's nothing more satisfying than watching someone and how they talk and saying, oh, they're getting it. It's clicking. And then watching after year 2 and year 3. And I'm watching some people on year 5 now, which is just so cool. You know, teachers get kids for a year and then they're gone in the real world, but I get to watch them for many years, which is awesome. So I love seeing that progress, and we're going to keep pumping out those interview videos. Lori's been doing a bunch of them. And don't forget, Lori is going to be giving away Friday morning a Swing Report annual membership, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. See you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day.